Hello everybody, welcome back to another Agency Crypto video, or maybe you guys should be welcoming me back since it's been a minute since I've made a video. But so I've been thinking about the direction we want to take this channel, and what I want to do is make this more trading focused. So like these other videos, like I put out a hyper liquid video, a video like that. If I decide I really need to do a video like that, I'll just put it on my other channel over at Crypto Haven. I want this channel to be more focused on trading. Those videos just take a lot of my time, and trading is where I want to put the majority of the focus. Anybody can buy and hold. We don't need to make videos about that. We can talk about that. But trading is going to be a critical component to everybody's crypto journey, my crypto journey, yours, anybody else's, anybody who's, trying to make any type of profits whatsoever. There's two reasons that I'm saying this, and I'll keep saying it. Number one is the crypto markets are changing as more and more people get involved and more institutions get involved and all this kind of stuff. You're going to get more choppier markets. You're going to get less huge moves. You're not going to get the 1,000% moves as often, certainly not in Bitcoin. And you're going to get a lot more smaller moves. So the only way to compensate for that, if you really want the big returns, is you either have to you could still find those big moves, but they're going to be in smaller, low cap, high risk tokens. And nowadays, those were not so bad, maybe 10 years ago, 5-10 years ago, but now there's so many of them that the probability of those tokens going to zero and you losing all your money is so high that it's rarely worth it. Those opportunities are not going to be as prevalent. The ones where you find a good token that actually does take off and you find it at a low market cap. So those will still exist, but they're going to be so high risk that you wouldn't want to put any substantial amount of money in there, like I wouldn't. So the way to compensate for that is to be able to learn how to navigate the markets and execute shorter term trades, so that on these up and down movements like this, you can actually make profits, smaller profits, but you can compound. So you can make, if you start out with $10,000 and you make 10%, you now have $11,000. So now the next, you keep growing, you can trade more because your account is growing more, and you just compound that up, and there's still enough lucrative moves here from a shorter term trading perspective that you can actually make your 10x or 1,000% gains with relative ease. The same type of opportunity that existed 5 to 10 years ago to make 1,000% or 10,000% gains just through buying and holding or taking a much longer term position. You can do that now with shorter term trades. This isn't like the Forex market where it's so damn choppy and the moves are so tiny that it's damn near impossible to trade, which is where I got my start. This is still giving you reasonable moves. So look at this. This is Bitcoin. Get this thing to work. So there's an 11, almost 12% move just right here over, this is a daily chart, just a handful of days, like a week. Same thing here. This is a 13% move over not even 2 weeks, and then back to back. Here's another one, all the way up 14%. Over a couple of weeks. So these move, and not even, that's not counting this one here. What is this? 27%. Over just, what is that? 2-3 weeks. That's from May over here to June. Not even, so these opportunities to make these trades and make money, whether the market is going up or down, are going to be critical if we want to make money going forward, number one. And number two, even if you still do long-term holds, which I still am an advocate of personally, I think trading should be a smaller component of your overall strategy. This is not financial advice on this channel, but that's just personally how I feel. But even for long-term position style trades, you're going to want to have some trading skills, right? So that you know how to get in. If you're buying in this area down here, you know how to get out at this area up here, like so few people do. And the only way that you can get better at anything is through practice. If you're taking long-term cycles here where you're trading this this, what is this anyways? This is like September 2022, September 2025, 3 years. You're going to hold for 3 years and try and get 500%. But if you're doing that, you better know how to get out up here. Otherwise, you just did all that for nothing and you wasted all this time. All this time where you could have been trading these up and down movements on a shorter term perspective and growing your account. This is what traders do. They don't really care whether there's moves like this taking place or if the market's just going sideways like this. They don't care if the markets are going up or if the markets are going down. They, if you can trade, you can make money on both sides. So the first thing is the fact that these markets are not going to deliver as much going forward. This last one was like not even 700%, whereas back in 2017, it was like 2,500%. There's a huge difference there. They get smaller every time. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, even if we are buying and holding these, we still need to have trading skills to make sure we're exiting at the top. Okay, so only trading practice can do that. And that's why I want to devote this channel to that. Not only to refresh and improve my own skills, but also I want to build the channel around trading, just because I think that that's the most important focus right now. Now, with Bitcoin, we are still bearish, and I've said this before, and I'll keep saying it, which is I think that we're still headed down longer term. This is a monthly chart right here. So I think, based on when I say we're headed down, I'm talking about within the next 6 to 12 months, maybe not 12 months, say like 6 to 9 months. By the end of 2026, maybe a few months into 2027, I think we should be hitting a bottom. And I personally think that it'll be somewhere in the $50,000 range, give or take, right? It could be above or below that, but I still think that we have to hit that level personally. I don't think we're going up from here. I think like short term we could go up, but ultimately I think we're going to come down and touch that $50,000 level before we make another move, so that's just my own personal opinion. And what I want to do on this channel is kind of keep my finger on the pulse of what Bitcoin and maybe some of the other top tokens are doing, because that'll give us an idea of where we are in the markets and what we might want to be doing because of that. From a shorter term perspective, like over here on a daily chart, we've been going sideways for a while now, and it's been very unclear of where we're headed. Are we going to go up in the short term, or are we going to go down? I'm just now starting to see, as of today, which is August 14th, that it looks like we finally may be picking a direction, and that looks like we may go down from here, short term. Right, short term on the daily chart means the next week or so, and we just take it week by week. We look at the weekly chart. It looks like, again, this could flip. I mean, it's only Friday right now. This could flip by Sunday and start to look more bullish. But if I had to choose right now, I'd say short term we start going down a little bit, down somewhere in this area, and we could stay in this range right here. That's very possible for quite some time. Now, the other thing that we're going to do in this channel is we're going to test some trading bots, because one of the things that I've learned when in my trading journey is that it's very difficult to trade, if nothing other than the fact that we're human beings and we have to eat and sleep and do different things that take us away from the markets. And so one of the reasons that I've always struggled was because I just, I get tired, I get busy, we have fear and greed emotions that we have to deal with that influence what we're doing. So if you can find a trading bot that will work for you, then that can go a long way towards helping you trade. The problem with that is because I used to build trading bots my last couple years that I was trading Forex. So I did that for a couple years, and I built dozens and dozens and dozens of different iterations of different trading bots with different strategies and whatnot, and I ran literally hundreds of back tests. And what I discovered was that no matter what happens, no matter how good the bot looks, it's always going to eventually fail, because market conditions change. And so if I take a trading system that I created and I build it into a bot, and I calibrate that bot over the last 3 years worth of trading history, then it'll work great when the markets were like that for the past 3 years. But as soon as markets change, the bot fails, right? So that's a really big issue that needs to be considered if you're looking at any kind of trading bot. So what I really prefer is a bot that is more of like a hybrid. So it'll work in tandem with you as an individual. So it's essentially like, you ever seen those like bionic legs? They strap around your legs, but they're like mechanical, so that when you walk or hike or run, they kind of assist with what you're doing. So you feel like you have superhuman legs or something. This product is assisting you, and that's what your trading bot should do. So right now I'm testing a trading bot, and I won't say where it came from just yet, but we're testing it over here on Hyperliquid, on testnet. So we're not in a trade right now, but it's taken some trades. It hasn't done too bad. So this testnet, when you get testnet tokens from the faucet, you get $999 worth. So it's up close to 30%. And that's from July 18th to August. So not even a month. And again, this is a hybrid approach. This bot can work 100% on autopilot, but I really feel like it can deliver better results if you are involved as well. So, if you're looking at just using the bot as a tool to assist you, because maybe you're sleeping, maybe you're at your job, maybe you're, doing anything else, but you're not there watching these markets 24/7. And that's where the bot comes in. So, we've had some decent returns. The last one, here's 2%, 5.7% before that. What was this one? 4.5%. Another 5.7, 6.5. Honestly, I don't think it's lost yet. 30%. I don't remember that one. Oh yeah, I remember that one. That was one of the earlier ones. Negative 4.5. There's a negative. This is back in the beginning when I was still calibrating and testing. So I am still testing. So these results, my goal is to figure out kind of what works the best. These earliest trades I was using on a 5-minute chart, and the 5-minute chart can work. It's just that I don't think it's as ideal. Currently, I've got it running on the 1-hour chart. But the thing is to test, to really see, you need to have lots of trades, right? So if you're on like a 1-hour chart and you're only getting like one trade every few days or whatever, right? Then your ability to monitor and test and evaluate goes way down because the data is coming in so slow. So I switched to a 5-minute chart to get more trades, to do some calibrations early on. But if it weren't for those, because I think a 1-hour chart's more ideal. If I were going to run on a 5-minute chart, I would need to change some settings, I think. But the 1-hour chart, I think, is just more well-rounded and ideal. And again, if this is like 30% in a month, or 20-30% in a month, and you compound that, that's pretty substantial. And the thing about this bot is you can throttle it up or down. So I can make it very, very low risk, which is going to give me lower returns, or I can make it more aggressive. I can literally push for 1,000% gains in 30 days, because it has a manual component to it. So you can really push the thing manually. If it's not doing anything, if it's not being aggressive enough for you on its own, you can get in there manually and assist it and push it, and you can shoot for those bigger gains. And how would you do that? You do that by understanding the markets. I have this running on Solana right now, but if you understand how the markets work and you understand how to trade, then you can come in here and know what you're looking at, and you can do a better job of using that bot as a tool to help you get, the kind of returns that we all would love to get, the kind of returns that we would get 5 to 10 years ago. So we're going to follow that journey on this channel, and test out this bot and see what happens. So, but yeah, that's what we're going to do. And so I'm going to try and put out more of these videos every day if I can, just to keep tabs on the markets. And we'll keep tabs on this bot. And hopefully the videos will be nice and short, where I don't have to explain every time like I'm doing this one what we're doing. And we'll see what happens. So that's it for this one, and we'll see you guys in the next video.